We're 2 weeks into a brand new adventure, but before that, this vehicle just had a major transformation. Welcome to Get Out Go, I'm Christoph, and today we'll be wrapping my 79 series.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
So welcome back to the channel, guys. This is quite an important part of the build. Today we're talking about vehicle wraps, and then we'll obviously put the wrap on the vehicle as well. I'm joined here by Sarl. Thanks for joining us, Sarl.
Thank you, Christoph, for having us.
Absolutely. Today we'll just go through a few questions around, what is a vehicle wrap? Why should I have it? Where can I get it? What's the sort of do's and don'ts around it? So first of all, why, especially from an overlander perspective or an off-road enthusiast, why should I wrap my vehicle?
I think there's a lot of misconception as well about vehicle wrapping. A lot of people will do it because it protects my paint, and it does to a certain degree. But we're all unique. We all want to be individual. So wrap your vehicle to suit your individual needs. You can have any design you want. To give you an idea, we have a designing software that can create patterns for you that's unique. And that will be a once-off wrap in South Africa, for instance, or in the world. So the uniqueness of the wrap. Then also the protection. Yes, your wrap will protect your paint to a certain degree because UV and pollution attacks your paint. So we are protecting the paint from those elements. Will it protect it against scratches? Yes, to a certain degree. But not all scratches are equal. Yeah. So they will be destroying the product as well. We've had an instance now recently with a customer that put our paint protection film on, and he went into the bush, destroyed the paint protection, but his Land Rover's paintwork is perfect.
Yeah, that makes a difference, right?
Absolutely. It is much easier to repair or replace your wrap than your paintwork on your vehicle.
Right, so in these type of wraps, is there different sort of materials I can use, and maybe what are some of those materials for the vehicle wraps?
So in these products, we have different categories. So first off, we have print medias. So your print media is then something that a converter will print on. They then laminate it with a protective laminate, and that construction will then be put onto your vehicle. So therein we can do advertising, individual wraps with nice designs, but we also have pigmented wraps. So our product is called Supreme Wrap, and that is a pre-pigmented form with some textures as well that you can then put onto your vehicle. And these can be combined. I mean, you can print something, put it on your vehicle, and add your Supreme Wrap on top. But we can go further. We can also add your Supreme PPF Extreme product, which is a paint protection foam, and that can last up to 10 years in South Africa. And that is a stone chip product. So that will protect your vehicle against the road debris, bushes, all those type of effects. Shopping trolleys, yeah, we have those as well, and the occasional key that might come out. Okay, but again, there is a limit to how this product can perform. Ultimately, they are all plastic with glue on them. But they are not made equal.
100%. Well, on that, I think, what sort of separates Avery Dennison? Maybe tell us a little bit about who's Avery Dennison and what sort of difference does that bring to the table?
So Avery Dennison was founded in 1935 by Stanton Avery. And, well, he was known as the gentle giant in our industry because he was a gentle person. And for him, it was all about helping people. And ultimately, this is what we do. We help people. But Avery Dennison is a Fortune 500 company. We're one of the biggest manufacturers in the world of self-adhesive labels and vinyl. But we go further, reflective materials, tapes, RFID tags, medical equipment or tapes. So Avery Dennison is a global company with roughly 30,000 employees. And we are a Fortune 500 company. Did I mention that?
Yeah,
But we research and develop self-adhesive products. And with changing environments, we have to keep up and ensure that we have products that will answer all these questions the environment throws at us.
Yeah, 100%. So if I've decided on Avery Dennison and I want to put a wrap on my car, where do I go? How do I know who to approach?
One of the easiest steps is get in contact with Avery Dennison, South Africa. You can speak to us. Alternatively, you could go to one of our distributors who's Intermarket, Maisie Plastic, Red Hot Media. They are also able to point you in the right direction, to go to the installers that will use the correct material for your needs and then ultimately help you to get this onto your vehicle.
Yeah. I think that's quite important is not anybody can apply the materials correctly, right? So is there any time where I shouldn't wrap a car? Is there stuff I shouldn't wrap?
Old paintwork. Classic cars, watch out for those. The paints have developed so much over the years, so we need to be mindful of that. So if you've got a classic car, don't wrap it just for the sake of wrapping it. Maybe just give it a good polish and leave it as is. But cars that's been resprayed, make sure you understand the process they followed. That paintwork needs to be in good order. We always talk about OEM paints because we understand what went into the paint and the paint has been applied properly to the vehicle. But then also we have products in the market that's called ceramic coatings. Just be mindful. If you buy a new vehicle, there could be a ceramic coating on the vehicle because that helps you maintain your paintwork. It keeps it clean for longer and it's easier to wash. And especially going now into global warming and we've got water restrictions, we don't want to wash our vehicles every weekend. So ceramic coatings will also prevent your vinyl from adhering to the paintwork. So those needs to be stripped before you can wrap your vehicle.
So now I've put the wrap on my vehicle. How long on average, or depending on the material, do these last?
It's a very difficult question to answer because not everybody will maintain their vehicles the same. And that is the unfortunate thing about vehicle wrapping for me, is that yes, you have different finishes. So a gloss finish will deteriorate quicker than a satin finish, but a matte finish deteriorates far quicker than both of these. So the finish of a vinyl is also important. The type of product that you're using is important. Yes, different vinyls have different durabilities or lifespans. We talk about warranties in South Africa, and these warranties are based on our conditions. So we've done the testing. We've had all the labs go through all the environments that we might face. And these then come down to a figure. South Africa, if you look at a gloss wrap in Supreme, 4 years vertical, 1 year horizontal. Alternatively, if you look at a satin, for instance, it's a 4-year vertical, 2 years horizontal. Matte, I'm not even going to mention because 6 months and you might also already see defects. So the reason for that is your pollution will penetrate the matte finish of the product, and it is very difficult to clean it again. So maintenance, very important, the type of maintenance you do, but your durability of a wrap is dependent on the individual that owns the vehicle.
I think, like you said earlier, it's like not all materials are created equally, right?
Correct.
So you talked about maintenance, and maybe let's touch on that. So now I've put this wrap on. How do I get the maximum life? Say it's 4 years. How do I get 4 years worth out of this wrap?
So even in the shop, we can already start preparing this wrap for what it's going to face on the road. Now, we said ceramic coatings, take it off your paintwork. However, ceramic coatings can also be applied onto vinyl. So there are specific types of ceramic coating made for vinyl surfaces. And yes, these need to be reapplied from time to time. But you can even go further. If you decide to do a gloss wrap on your vehicle, you've done a beautiful design, we can now add the PPF on top of that wrap. And this will prevent your pollution and outside forces from destroying your wrap.
Thank you very much. So I think we'll show you around the warehouse, quick sneak peek, and then we'll get to wrapping the car. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you very much for having us, and good luck.
Our next stop is Tsanin Print Company. Eric and his team are not only fitting the wrap, but he also did all of the design work. The first step in the wrapping process is to remove all the vehicle trim. Don't underestimate this task, especially on modern vehicles. Next, the vehicle also has to be thoroughly washed. Then it needs to be completely dried before applying the vinyl. At the back here, we've covered with a black matte vinyl, and you'll see some very nice topo lines in a glossy finish. And we actually managed to wrap the checker plate on the camper as well. We're using Avery's Supreme Satin Colored vinyl as the base layer at the back. Even for a fairly square vehicle like the 79, there's still lots of corners and contours to deal with. By far the trickiest bits were the checker plate doors on the camper. You have to carefully mold the vinyl around every little pattern, so it takes a lot of time and patience. Next, we're printing and cutting the glossy topographic lines. I think it's a subtle but awesome accent. I absolutely love how these came out. The front of the vehicle is covered with Avery's PPF. So this is a transparent material that protects the underlying paint. You get this in gloss, matte, and I've gone for satin. Now satin gives it a very different look, but it doesn't scratch as easily as the complete matte. These have self-healing properties as well, so very scratch resistant, and it's a great way to protect your paintwork. The PPF is a lot thicker than standard vinyl, so even more difficult to apply. This is yet another important reason to pick your fitment center carefully. You don't want any do-overs here, as it's time-consuming and costly. The front of the vehicle usually takes the brunt of the abuse, so it makes sense to put PPF here. You can also overlay your wrap or branding with PPF. We've also wrapped some of the accents like the fender flares and the mirrors to get rid of some of the chrome. And for this we used Avery's rugged material. So this is very similar to Raptor coating. So it's got a textured feel to it. And this is great for pinstripes, bush rash, so very nice material for that. It honestly looks like it came out of the factory like that. And how do you like the detail on this bonnet scoop? Another nice fine detail just to finish things off is a black vinyl on the inside of the doors. Just makes it feel a little bit more luxurious in here, and it helps against scratches as well. I've also got all my sponsors' logos on here, as this show obviously just wouldn't be possible without them. What you see here in a few minutes took literally 3 days in real time. This is a big job. Next, we're printing and cutting all the branding. Appreciate it, eh? I'm really pleased how this turned out. It looks great and it really protects the vehicle. So a massive thank you to Maisie Plastics, for Avery Dennison and Tanine Print Company. Great job, guys. We're absolutely thrilled how this turned out and the fact that our paint will take less of a beating over the next few years. Keep an eye out for our full walk-around video once we have the cupboards installed in our camper. These vehicles today are not cheap. You want to protect your investment. Plus, it's a great branding opportunity if you need that. So I can definitely recommend wrapping your overlanding vehicle. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Until next time, get out there.